Superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Oh, yeah. There we are. Whoa. All right. That's a little different there, Jen. Okay. Welcome back to the show. Crash Talk Tuesday nights. Tonight's episode, of course, I'm a Bussa Capio. That's right. For this Tuesday, March 3rd, 2015. 34 degrees Central Park right now. Raining. It's good to see. We're supposed to hit 41 tomorrow. That's even more exciting. But then right back down to 20 and snow on Thursday. Yeah, right. So, whatever. I'm not going out for another 3 months. 3 months. Yeah. March, April, May, June. Yeah, June. That's about good. Should be about 60 degrees in the city in June. Well, there you go. Welcome back to the show, and thank you for tuning in to Crash Talk tonight. Of course, tonight, I'm talking about cyberbullies and internet trolls making the headlines again. Of course, yes. Thank you very much. All right. There we go. I don't even know what the hell that was. But anyway, and of course, I'm talking about Curt Schilling and his Twitter fiasco, apparently defending his daughter's honor because of all these disgusting tweets talking about rape and bloody panties and everything else. And of course, the two tweets that he's putting up here from these guys who he's pretty much destroyed their lives. Quote, tweet number 1, fraternity, you don't call your country a blank ... and I'm respectful, I'll probably text her the next morning. And, of course, the second tweet, quote, how far is Salve Regina from Jersey? I want to come out and play, but Gabby wants me to come, C-U-M, and stay. I'm lost. I don't see how that's terrible? It might not make much sense, but I don't see it being terrible. But anyway, he's gone out and he's pretty much destroyed their lives. Had one kid kicked out of school, had them kicked off sports teams. One guy lost his job. Yes, in this economy, yes, let's just make him lose his job. Well, you know, this kid is not the only one who's lost his job over saying things on Twitter. No. Now, as you all probably know, listening to HTLA a lot, if you do, most of our shows, we talk about, Twitter in a joking fashion, talking about how it's the new news agency. But it's funny how more and more every day stories are coming out being confirmed by Twitter, or people are making news because of Twitter, or they're making news because of things they say on Twitter. And, of course, people are indeed getting fired from their careers for things they say on Twitter. And my mind is going back to, I'm going to say about 5-6 months ago. There was a girl, I guess she's about 30, 31 or so. And, she had a decent job. She was the VP of something or other for some corporation. And she was going down to South Africa for, I don't know, some business trip or what have you. And she went and made some sort of innocuous tweet on Twitter that was perceived by the morons out there, the sheep, I'm going to call them. Her comments were perceived as being racist. And, I think she was talking about the hotel, and I hope they have shampoo or some bloody thing. And she said something to do with black or blackies or something like that. And, of course, that kind of innocuous, kind of vague tweet was, well, taken, of course, the absolute wrong way. And, well, that lady lost her vice president of something or other for that corporation's job. And that's a college-educated professional woman who just happened to say something that somebody else took as being racist. And, of course, subsequently lost her job and, well, probably not hired again by another of that caliber, wouldn't you think? And the question here, the kind of thing that gets me with this story is Curt Schilling is coming out as the defender of the victim, being his 17-year-old daughter, and in his defense of his daughter has kind of destroyed these two other guys' lives, and I guess countless others who I guess maybe didn't write and apologize to his ego, which clearly this seems to be a case of this to me. If I'm wrong, let me know. Yeah, you can tweet me at CRASHTalkin', or you can also email the station here at producer@htlaradio1.com. That's the number one. Thank you, just like us. Fire me off an email. Let me know what you think. Yeah, like to know. But now, couldn't it be construed that as he's, posing to be this defender of the victim online, that he isn't actually a troll or a cyberbully of his own? Yeah, think about that for a minute now. By the course of his actions, because he didn't like something that somebody else had said on a congratulatory tweet that he sent his daughter, because he didn't like it, these guys now don't have school, they don't have jobs, et cetera, et cetera. So he even says to one of them, there's real-world ramifications for what you're doing. And, of course, what the guy did was write kind of a completely cloudy frickin' tweet that doesn't really say anything. And if you think I'm wrong, again, email the station, let me know, tweet me. Yeah. But I don't think I am. And, because this guy used to be a, quote, baseball star? Well, why is he more important than anybody else, number one? Number two, I would actually have to say that he is the cyberbully and the troll in this situation because he has affected people in the real world with his actions, while these other guys who have been affected have done what? They've said something. Well, I guess freedom of speech doesn't apply. I guess freedom of expression doesn't apply. And if that's the case, America, don't we have bigger problems? Holy crap. Stop and think about that for a minute. Freedom of expression and freedom of speech, boom, hereby stricken from the Constitution. You no longer have that right as Americans. Have a nice day. You telling me out of the 350 million people in this country, you wouldn't have about 300 million of them having little riots and Ferguson riots of their own? You bet you would. Well, so if there is indeed freedom of speech and expression, then isn't Schilling here the bully? The troll? Interesting questions, yes? Well, now you've got some idea why I picked this for tonight's show. There's a lot of different angles to this, including one that hits very close to home. If we don't have freedom of speech or expression, my show's over. That's the fact of the matter. No more my show. No more Alex Jones. No more Rush Limbaugh. Oh my God, no more Howard Stern. And really, no more radio, unless it's music. But then with music, they're expressing themselves. I'm sorry, there's no more music. And you can't go and hide behind classical music because, well, those artists were expressing themselves too. It falls under the same category, gang. So overnight, no music, no radio. Oh, geez, and then we go to TV. Oh, we start talking about films now. Oh, we're cutting out the arts. But wait. As my good friend and actor John Sheck will attest, we've been cutting out the arts for a number of years now, haven't we? We cut them out of our schools. It's the first to go there. If our children don't get an appreciation and an understanding of art and expression at a young age, when the hell does it happen? Interesting. More questions. More questions. Yes, absolutely. It kind of even brings up things like, what's his name there from NBC? Brian Williams. Yeah. The big NBC anchor who got suspended and fired and everything from NBC because of a story he told. This gets me. This is something because, what do the news people do? What is journalism? Well, it's a telling of a story. I learned that in film school. That's what we do in film school. We use the medium of film, or now, okay, digital cinema, but we use that medium to what? Tell stories. No, it doesn't have to be a journalistic documentary. Hell, The Hobbit, Frodo. Those trilogy blockbusters. Come on. They're stories too. Well, all of a sudden we won't have those anymore. It's not constitutional. Thanks, Kurt Schilling. Way to go, ass. But do you see what I mean, though? Do you see what I mean? This kind of small, kind of innocuous little story, and it opens up all these questions. Well, at least it should. I mean, if you listen to this show, certainly I'm thinking you're on the same, brainwave as I am in terms of levels of comprehension. And I think clearly this little story actually opens up a whole huge can of worms that if you stop and look at that bigger picture, what is that really saying about our society in America? What is that underscoring with the breakdown of America? And these are all pretty huge questions. And then if you look at even the broader scope where it's this whole PC thing, the whole term cyberbullies and trolls was actually coined by the purveyors of PC-ism. You can't say that. You can't say that online. You can't say that. We're going to have the investigations of a lifetime here with the FBI because you can't say that. We see it all the time. People are getting investigated by the FBI. People are losing their jobs. People are getting kicked out of school. People are getting kicked off of sports teams. People are having real-world ramifications because of something they said on social media. And then let's look further now at the internet and you. Yes, your responsibility as someone who uses the internet, and I know you do because you're listening to me right now. You have to be able to use the internet to listen to good old Crash Man. So I know you all use the internet. Are you accountable for everything you say and do on the internet? No. Absolutely, unequivocally, emphatically, no. No, you're not. You go on your Facebook, you go on your Twitter, you go put out your blog, you go do whatever you do online there, and everything you type and say out in that realm, it's considered public domain, yes, but it's that digital public domain. And what did I say at the beginning of the show about what this digital public domain is? It's not American. It's global. So what happens the next time you say something that the government of China takes offense to and wants you arrested? Even worse, what happens if you happen to be in China when you accessed your Twitter account and said whatever you did and they arrest you there? Uh-oh. Big problem now. Right. Well, as with everything, I believe that we should be responsible for everything we say and do online. Even with this show. I come on and I give my opinions and my rants and yada, 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 and blah, 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 and always, or at least I try to always issue that disclaimer that, of course, my opinions are in no way that of HTLA at Radio 1 New York or its holding companies. Don't I? You betcha. Because it's not. But that's something to me, and my common sense level, that's something that says to me, well, that should be a given. Really? Do I have to say this disclaimer on each and every single show? Well, of course, the company says yes, I do. But I sort of think, no, my Crash Talk listeners are smarter than that. They know. We don't get any lawsuits here from anything I say on these shows. So I'm pretty sure that all our listeners already understand that. So there's no issue. But okay, I'll say it every once in a while because, hey, you know, we get new listeners, right? Now we're on iHeart, another 247 million monthly.